Coming to unit number 2, Fourier transforms. Third question A bit, express the function f of x as a Fourier integral where f of x is given as 1 when mod x less than or equal to 1, its value is 0 if mod x greater than 1, and hence evaluate integral 0 to infinity sine lambda cosine lambda x by lambda d lambda. Here we are given that the function f of x 1 mod x less than or equal to 1, f of x whose value is 0 when mod x greater than 1. Mod x less than or equal to 1 means x lies between -1 and +1. Mod x greater than 1 means either x less than -1 or x greater than 1. Basically, we know that Fourier integral theorem. By Fourier integral theorem, f of x equals to 1 by pi integral 0 to infinity integral minus infinity to positive infinity f of t cosine s t negative x dt ds. It is a Fourier integral theorem, generalized one. In the integrand contains f of t. We need to write f of t. X is replaced with t directly in this function. We have 1 when t lies between -1 and +1, 0 when t less than -1 or t greater than 1. According to Fourier integral theorem, 1 by pi integral negative infinity to positive infinity become integral -1 to +1. Since f of t whose value non-zero, that is 1, only t lies between -1 and +1. Rest of the function value 0. ds. Integrate this integrand with respect to t. We have obtained sine s times of t negative s by s. Consider the limits between -1 and +1 for variability ds. 1 by pi 1 by s. When t replaced with 1, we have sin s 1 negative x minus sin s t replaced with -1 negative x ds. 1 by pi 1 by s sin s into 1s minus sx. This became negative of negative positive sin s plus sx ds. We know that sin of a plus b plus sin of a minus b equals to 2 sin a cosine b. 1 by pi 1 by s. According to this trigonometric relation, 2 sin s cosine sx obtained. Instead of a we have s, instead of b we have sin sx. 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity sin s cosine sx by s ds. Our deduction part, to evaluate this integral, one can observe instead of s we have the parameter lambda. To get the value of this integral, replacing s with lambda, we will get f of x equals to 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity sin lambda cosine lambda x by lambda d lambda. Therefore, this integral is equals to pi by 2 times of f of x. Hence, the result of this integral is only pi by 2 times of f of x only. Third question B bit, show that the Fourier sine transform to the function f of x e power negative ax is square root 2 by pi s by a square plus s square, where a is positive. We know that the Fourier sine transform to the function and its formula square root 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of x sin sx dx. F of x is directly replaced with e power negative ax in the formula fs e power negative ax equals to square root 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity e power negative ax sin sx dx. To evaluate this integral, we can apply a reduction formula only according to integral e power ax sin bx dx square root 2 by pi constant e power ax by a square plus b square a sin bx minus b cos bx. We have assumed a equal to negative a, b is equal to s, and consider the limits between 0 and infinity for the variable x, and simplify this expression when x replaced with infinity as a upper result and minus when x replaced with 0 we have obtained the lower result, and after simplification one can obtain square root 2 by pi s by a square plus s square. It is only the Fourier sine transform to the function e power negative ax. Third question, C bit. Make use of the result integral 0 to infinity e power negative at sin st dt equals to s by s square plus a square to express the function f of x e power negative ax, where x lies between 0 and infinity as a Fourier sine integral. Here we are given that the function e power negative ax, and also we can use this particular result to express the function as a Fourier sine integral. Here we are given that the result integral 0 to infinity e power negative at sin st dt as s by s square plus a square. Our objective is to express this function as a Fourier sine integral. We need to know Fourier sine integral to the function f of x. We have the formula f of x equals to 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of t sin st dt sin sx ds. Integrand contains f of t. We know f of x. X is replaced with t. F of t will be e power negative at. You can see here instead of f of t we have e power negative at. We know the result of this open bracket integral s by s square plus a square. Hence, we have expressed the given function f of x as a Fourier sine integral, that is 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity s by s square plus a square sin sx ds. We can write either third question or fourth question from unit number 2. Fourth question, a bit. Find the Fourier sine transform to the function f of x, where f of x is x when x lies between 0 and 1, 2 minus x when x lies between 1 and 2. The function value is 0 when x is more than 2. So here one can observe that the function is non-zero valued only when x lies between 0 and 1, 1 and 2. Rest of the function value is 0. For this, the student will be able to get the Fourier sine transform to the function f of x. Fourier sine transform to f of x and its formula square root 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of x sin sx dx. Now this definite integral can be expressed as, based on these intervals, integral 0 to 1, integral 1 to 2, and x greater than 2 means starting from 2 to infinity f of x sin sx dx. Square root 2 by pi. The function is non-zero valued only in the interval 0 1. You can see here it is a integral 0 to 1. The function f of x is x x lies between 0 and 1. You can see here the function is 2 negative x when x lies between 1 and 2, and the function value 0 in the interval 2 to infinity. So we have neglected third integral, just we have taken first two integrals. Since f of x is 0 only when x greater than 2. Square root 2 by pi, according to Bernoulli's formula, we can evaluate these two integrals. X sin sx integration negative cosine sx by s plus follows negative x derivative 1 negative cosine sx by s and its integration negative sine sx by s square. Consider the limits between 0 and 1 plus 2 minus x sine sx integration negative cosine sx by s plus follows minus 2 minus x derivative minus 1 negative cosine sx by s integration negative sine sx by s square. Consider the limits between 1 and 2. Just we have taken this expression from the previous slide, square root 2 by pi. It has a multi signs. Express entire result in a unique sign negative x by s cosine sx negative of negative positive 1 by s square sine sx. Consider the limits between 0 and 1 plus it has a negative 1 negative 1 into 2 minus x negative of 2 minus x cosine sx by s. It has a negative 1 cube, that is negative 1 sine sx by s square. Consider the limits between 1 and 2 for x. Square root 2 by pi, when x replaced with 1 we have obtained the first two terms. When x replaced with 0, the first term contains x, obviously it is 0. The second term consists sine sx, it is also come together 0, plus when x replaced with 2, the first term became 0, the second term negative sine 2s by s square negative. The lower result will be when x replaced with 1, it will be negative cosine s by s minus when x replaced with 1, it will be sine s by s square. Square root 2 by pi, the first term, second term, third term, negative of negative positive, and this fourth term, negative of negative positive, and we have the fifth term. Here one can observe cosine s by s, cosine s by s, same values having opposite signs, cancel them, and also we have 1 by s square sin s, 1 by s square sin s, 2 by s square sin s, negative sine 2s by s square. Hence the required Fourier sine transform to the function f of x, square root 2 by pi 2 sin s negative sine 2s by s square. Coming to fourth question, B bit, solve for the function f of x from an integral equation integral 0 to infinity f of x cosine alpha x dx equals to e power negative alpha. Our objective is to find f of x from this integral equation. So one can observe this integral equation is in terms of one trigonometric function cosine alpha x. For this, the learner will be able to recognize, identify Fourier cosine transform. Here we are given that the integral equation, multiply with the square root 2 by pi throughout this equation, we have this result. On left hand side it is f of alpha over c, that equal to square root 2 by pi e power minus alpha. This is the formula for Fourier cosine transform of f of x and it is also can be denoted by f of alpha over c. To solve this function f of x by using inverse Fourier cosine formula, f of x equals to square root 2 by pi f of alpha over c cos alpha x d alpha, square root 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of alpha over c square root 2 by pi e power minus alpha cos alpha x d alpha, square root 2 by pi square root 2 by pi 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity e power negative alpha cosine alpha x d alpha. This integral can be achieved by using only the reduction formula. We know that integral e power a alpha cosine alpha x d alpha, that is e power a alpha by a square plus b square, a cosine b alpha plus b sine b alpha. Consider the limits between 0 and infinity. Instead of a we have 1, instead of b we have x, so that we have obtained e power minus alpha by 1 plus x square negative 1 into cosine alpha x plus alpha sin alpha x. Consider the limits between 0 and infinity for alpha, so 2 by pi, and just we have seen this is the result. And after simplification by upper and lower results, when x alpha is replaced with infinity, it will be 0, e power negative infinity 0. The lower result will be negative 1 by 1 plus x square, it will be negative 1, that is only 2 by pi, negative 1 into negative 1 positive 1 by 1 plus x square. Hence the unknown function f of x, whose value 2 by pi times of 1 by 1 plus x square, by utilizing inverse Fourier cosine transform formula. So hence f of x 2 by pi times of 1 plus x square. Let us see fourth question C bit. Compute the Fourier sine transform to the function f of x e power negative 3x. The student will be able to identify the Fourier sine transform to the function f of x. The only thing you need to remember the Fourier sine transform to the function f of x. We know that Fourier sine transform to f of x and its formula square root 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of x sin sx dx. F of x is now replaced with e power negative 3x. We have Fourier sine transform of e power minus 3x equals to square root 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity e power negative 3x sin sx dx. Just we have replaced f of x with e power minus 3x, f of x with e power negative 3x. To evaluate this integral, we can apply the reduction formula only. We know that integral e power ax sin bx dx equals to e power ax by a square plus b square a sin bx minus b cosine bx. Square root 2 by pi a power negative 3x by negative 3 square plus s square negative 3 sin sx negative s cosine sx, which is the result. Consider the limits between 0 and infinity for the variable x. To simplify this result, we can substitute x with infinity, we get the upper result, minus x replaced with 0, we will get the lower result, and just by simple algebraic calculation we have obtained square root 2 by pi s by s square plus 9, which is the Fourier sine transform to the function e power negative 3x.